Okay, here we are in my bedroom for the next stage of the packing process. And this is the suitcase that I typically take on a trip. It's amazing how many days of clothes and items you can cram into it if you need to. It's called a weekender, I believe. And this size of suitcase does fit in the overhead bins of an aircraft. I really don't recommend that for an enjoyable travel experience. I think the more we can check at the gate, the less cumbersome travel becomes for us, and it does shorten the lines. There's no question about it. I know many of the airlines charge for checked baggage, but I understand with all the lines and the trouble they're having right now that they're thinking about not doing that to shorten the lines a little more. But this suitcase works well in a lot of situations. It has wheels. It's easy to maneuver. You don't need help when you travel with it. It makes you very self-sufficient, which I like. Okay, we're going to start out by talking about this all-important side pocket here. Didn't realize I zipped it. And this is where you can really save some weight and some bulk from your luggage, because this is all the items that you're going to be using in your bathroom, like your shampoo, your conditioner, your hairspray, your deodorant, and so forth, that if you take the full bottle, they're going to be pretty heavy and pretty bulky. So I'm always looking for the small items that you can get to make this section more compact. And some of them that I wanted to demonstrate here. I found this little generic plastic bottle. I mean, you can get them anywhere, I'm sure. I put enough shampoo in there to try to last me for the trip. And I'm getting, so I can estimate pretty well because I travel a lot. That might hold as many as 5 days of shampoo in it. And it's all you need. You don't need to take a great big bottle. And some people will say, well, they have it in the room. Yes, sometimes they do, and you start out great. But the next day, they may not put it in there, and then you're kind of up the creek. So I always take my favorite shampoo in this. I have a similar one for conditioner, a little bit bigger, and just vary those amounts as I travel. Another good item to have, I find this little bottle of baby oil, which I use for taking off my makeup. It's also kind of handy if something sticks, and or maybe it's good at cleaning things off. Maybe something that you've spilt or whatever that needs a little oil removal. I found it to be very, very convenient. Then I found this. This was a great little product. It's a little mini flat iron for travel. One thing I'm sure most of you realize that today almost every hotel and cruise has a hairdryer. So I've long ago stopped taking my dryer. But I usually, if I go to a place that I don't know too much about or I haven't been before, I will give them a call and check or look in their advertisement to make sure that they do have hair dryers. It's, 99.9% sure they will, but it's always good to check if you're not sure. Okay, and then I have another important must is a little tube of toothpaste. Don't take a big bulky tube. That'll last several days, and you can get those at any pharmacy. Then contacts, take them. If you wear contacts and you don't have glasses, which I don't, or your glasses can always get broken too, I always take extra contacts. If I'm going to be gone for several days, maybe a couple weeks, I take 2 sets of contacts. If you have to drive home from somewhere and you don't have your contacts, you could really be in trouble, and that's happened to me. So I always am sure that I have extras. Okay, and then finally, have this little sewing kit. I think I got that as a favor at a conference or something, but you can sometimes get these in a hotel room. A very nice hotel room might have them as a little added addition for their guests. Or I'm sure you can buy them. Just keep an eye out for them. They come in very handy, especially if you really are dressing up and you don't want to have to be wearing something that's ripped. And then my favorite and must-have product is my little aluminum flask, which is very, very lightweight, even when it's full of tequila. The only thing is, don't take that on a cruise, because they search your luggage after you board the ship, and if they find alcohol in it, they'll take it out because they want to sell their own. And I had a friend that actually happened to. Now, I have a little trick that I probably shouldn't tell you about, but when I travel on a cruise, I empty a Listerine bottle, and I fill it full of bourbon or tequila, and it just looks like brown Listerine. I usually get away with it when my friends are getting caught. Okay, so keep an eye out for small things that you can take, little contact solution bottles, little deodorants, anything that comes in the travel sizes that you see in the store. Okay, now the next section is where we're going to start actually packing the suitcase. And this is where I put all of my underwear, robes, nightgown, swimsuit if I'm going to take one. You might want to take a beach towel, lay them all in there flat. I'm a proponent of flat packing rather than the round, balled up packing that everybody's been talking about lately. The problem with that balled up round thing is it might take some wrinkles out, but it's got two disadvantages. First of all, it feels like you're carrying a brick in your suitcase. And secondly, since they're all balled up like that, you've got a lot of work after you arrive, taking them all apart and hanging them up or putting them in a drawer or whatever. So I have a little better tip for you, I think. Also at this level, I start putting shoes. One thing I'm sure most of you would know intuitively, wear your biggest shoes. You know, if your tennis shoes are your biggest shoes, wear those while you're traveling, and put your small dress shoes or sandals or whatever in your suitcase. I put them with the shoe side of the street side against the outside of the suitcase. And these don't really take up that much room, and you can't really hurt them. I mean, they might roll up a little bit, but they'll be fine after you wear them. So you want to put everything in here that you don't mind having flattened out a little bit, because the next layer is going to add a little weight to this section.